Well, in this respect, your country, Switzerland, Lucas, has set up a program to enhance employers' motivation by providing information on cost. From your organization, Health Promotion Switzerland, what is your message, Lucas?
Thank you very much. Health Promotion Switzerland is a foundation. We are active in the field of public health, health promotion and prevention, and our funding is defined by the law. So we have our funding is public. One thing we do is that we show employers that chronic stress is bad for business. So chronic stress is bad for business. So we made a survey last year, a representative survey, and we could show that 24.8% of employees in Switzerland have critical working conditions related to stress. And at the same time, we could show that the stress-related costs for the employers are in total about 5 million euro. So this is about 1,000 euro per employee in the mean. And let me explain what we did. We developed an index, and it's called the Job Stress Index, and it's one single figure which shows how much the working conditions are stressful. So it's a relationship between stressors and resources. And it's, of course, if you take the whole working conditions related to stress and you put all in one number, you do a big simplification. But it's very useful to talk with managers if you have some simplifications. But the interesting thing is that this job stress index, we looked how it is related to other stress-related factors. And it is significantly related to exhaustion, that's one thing, and with health problems, it is related with psychosomatic disorders or with sleeping problems. And at the same time, and this is more interesting for employers, if you have a higher job stress index, you also have less job satisfaction, you have less commitment to the organization, and now it becomes more interesting, you have more turnover intention. And we went also one step further, and we could show that this job stress index is related with a higher absence rate and with productivity losses. So we did this analysis with universities, the University of Bern and the University of Zurich, and we did last year, 2014, a representative study in Switzerland, and we used these figures to show if you have more chronic stress, you will have more productivity losses. And this relationships is also from the point of view of the scientific point of view clear. And now we have also a tool which we offer to employers. It's called the S tool, and it's a tool to measure stress and to measure this job stress index. And what we tell to employers is it is worth to measure stress and the conditions that related to stress, and at the same time it is worth to better the situation related to stress. And one thing we can calculate it as 1 point in the job stress index is worth about 400 euros per employee. So you know, if you better the conditions in related to stress, you will have less less productivity losses. But we talk always about the employer's point of view and the losses for the employer. We are not talking about costs, externalized cost of stress. This will be another team. So if I tell you 5 million of euro for Switzerland, it's the costs related for the employers because of absences and because of productivity losses caused by stress.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lucas. And we have now the opportunity to raise some comments and/or questions. We will start by you, Terry.
Thank you for that. Very interested in the job stress index. Can you tell me if it differentiates between work-related stress factors and other factors where someone comes to work, maybe going through a divorce, their dog may have died that morning, whatever it may have been? Do you actually make a differentiation, or do you actually take all those stress factors into account?
Thank you very much for this question. That's something we analyzed, and we're still analyzing it, because we do now these surveys yearly. So we will also have longitudinal data, which is very interesting. We did it first time in 2014, and this year we did it another time. And what we do is, with regression analysis, we take out we can tell private stressors, and we calculate what is the effect of the job stress. And it's scientifically complicated to do this, but since last year we took other factors that could be private stressors. As an example, how stressful is your way from home to your work. And so we also asked people, how stressful is it? And then we calculate this effect out. And there's still, we can say that there is a part of the stress which is private, is existing, and it's also, you also feel it at work, but there's also a part which is working stress. And we can calculate all the rest out, and there's still something there.
Thank you, Lucas. Another question here, please.
On that, I have more of a comment. Does it make sense to separate private, the stress you have at home in private life from workplace? Don't you come as a person, a whole person, to your workplace, and you are that person with your stress you have in your private life, and you'll have it at your workplace. You'll be thinking about it, and vice versa.
Very good question. We try, one of our goals is to activate investments of employers in the health of their employees. And what employers often say is, this stress is private. So why should we do anything? And that's why we also look at this part with the job stress, in order to show that there is a field where the employee has possibility to action, and we show what he can do. And there's also, it's clear there's also another part, but I think at the moment we try to show that there's something to do with the working conditions also. And this is what we say to employers. And I think one important result is that at the end it is worth for the employers to do something against psychosocial risks and for better mental health. And the figures are clear. So I think we should work in the direction that the employers also measure their stress situation, in order they can see what the effects are in their company.
Thank you, Lucas. Other questions or comments? We have still one over there, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm Christine Los. I'm the director of PSIA in Spain. My question would be, what do you think are the new trends, new challenges that the companies are facing regarding psychosocial risk, or what's the next step?
I think we know a lot about stress and how to measure, but we should know more about what to do against it. And I think we should investigate much more what are the good interventions and what are the interventions that are where the cost and the effects are the best. And this is something we can learn all together, but it's also something which the company has to learn for himself. So you should know, if you are an employer, you should know what are the factors that are relevant for the whole company, for the different sectors of a company, for the different teams, and know and learn how to deal with it, how to better the situation. And I think it's about interventions now. And there's another thing I wanted to point out as I saw this question. We talk a lot about risks and about the costs of stress, and I think we should talk more about the potential of mental health. Because if we found ways to better the engagement and better the motivation of employees, this will be a lot more effective also on in money, in gains, than only to take out the risks or the costs. So I think it's also about health promotion and mental health promotion.